Chapter 3 Introspection Method.
This is the oldest known method for the study of behavior. In the early days of the evolution of psychology, behavior was studied only through a kind of self examination of inner observation called introspection. The word introspection is made up of two Latin words, intro meaning within or inward, and sphere meaning to look. Hence, introspection means looking within or looking inward. In introspection, then one is required to get inside one's own mind. It is a sort of self observation in which one perceives, analyzes, and reports one's own feelings and, in fact, everything that takes place in one's mind during the course of a mental act. For example, when in a state of anxiety, fear, or anger, one may be asked to determine by one's own observation what one sensed, thought, or felt at the time of experiencing that emotion. Merits introspection, the observation and reporting of one's own mental processes, is considered important on account of its unique nature. It is a simple and readily available method. One's own mental processes without involving any extra expenditure of material or apparatus. Moreover, introspection provides adequate knowledge of the inner or covered experiences and thus the inner behavior of an individual in the form of thought or feeling can be revealed through introspection. Drawbacks and limitations. Introspection as a method of studying behavior, however, suffers from some serious drawbacks and limitations. In introspection, one needs to observe or examine one's mental processes carefully in the form of thoughts, feelings, and sensations. The state of one's mental processes is continuously changing. Therefore, when one concentrates on introspecting a particular phase of one's mental activity, that phase passes off. For example, when one gets angry at something and afterwards sits down to introspect calmly or to self examine, the state of anger is sure to have passed off, and so what one tries to observe is not what is happening at the time with oneself, but what had happened some time before. Introspection as a method of serious study lacks in reliability, validity, and objectivity for the following reasons. The results lack reliable communicability and repeatability because any one investigator can never be sure that what he feels or senses is the same as is experienced by other investigators. If we invite introspection reports on the nature of the sensation of green, for example, these reports are bound to differ. Some will insist that green is a unitary sensation, whereas others may say that green is a mixed sensation involving yellow and blue. We have no means for the objective observation of the introspection phenomenon. Moreover, in introspection, one studies one's own behavior or mental process. It is not possible to verify self observation as one's own mind cannot be studied by others in introspection. It is next to impossible to acquire validity and exactness in self observation or examination of one's own mental process. The mind, in perceiving its own functions, tries to divide itself into two halves, the subject and the object. The object of observation and the instrument of observation are, of course, one and the same. This automatically affects the validity and exactness of the observation process and the perceived results. A man who is angry or afraid cannot observe exactly what is going on in his mind and remain unchanged in his emotional state of anger or fear. The consciousness on his part is sure to affect his mental or emotional state, which is the object of observation. The scope of introspection as a method of studying behavior is rather limited. It can only be applied satisfactorily in the case of adult normal human beings. The behavior of children, abnormal human beings, animals, etc., cannot be studied by this method. Thank you for watching. I hope this video is helpful for you. This video is interest, share to others. Yet those are not subscribe my channel, don't forget immediate to subscribe my channel.